이제 알았습니다. 발척계 진짜 뒷배가 누구인지.
In trying to protect someone, the glowstone has disappeared, the Imugi that waited 1,000 years, and the steel's choice to protect a woman. But that sincerity can sometimes become the most dangerous. Weakness for someone. Chapter 11 of The Return of the Hero. The price of choices and sacrifices that can no longer be undone begins now. The 8-footed demon, who has reappeared before the steel, says this. Your enemy is not me. It's the bloodline of that royal family. It may sound like a provocation, but there is a hidden truth within it. The 8-legged creature suddenly disappears, as if it has realized something. I have a strong desire to chase after it. But first, Steel saves Yeri. What's important right now is her. Yuri is still confused. She has no idea why she survived, or why she was called a bait. Meanwhile, Lee Jung-un delves deeply into the royal family's genealogy while tracking the 8-legged monster. He focuses on Yunjong the Great, a king from 100 years ago. Surrounded by sudden deaths and central figures, the identity and anger of the 8-headed monster. All the clock hands point directly to Yeongdamgal. From 100 years ago, the central axis of the story begins to reach into the past. But the story delves deeper into the realm of emotions. Yeri cautiously approaches Gang Chul and says this. I no longer need a spectator. You are my spectator. In the capital and in Yeongdamgal, it was always Steel who looked at me and protected me during the days I was alone. This confession itself becomes a turning point, where Steel accepts human emotions. However, another being, Bibi, who overhears this confession, feels her insides twist. She is afraid that Steel might forget the mission of the Imugi and be swayed by human emotions. That fear transforms into jealousy, and then into anger. At the same time, the 8-legged ghost quietly sets the stage. He uses Pungsan as a host to covet the royal power and lures Yuri deep into the shrine. The goal is simply to make Steel follow along. In the end, Steel and Bibi find themselves facing each other in that place. They were originally on the same side, but now, because of the desire to protect the same person, we end up facing each other with swords drawn. Bibi says, this can't go on, brother. You're going too far. Gang Chul replies, I don't want to fight you. But Bibi is determined to protect my brother. I must return the steel. The one who enjoys this fight the most is Palchiakwi. He is quietly smiling. This fight is one that benefits oneself, no matter who wins. And Yuri notices that this guy isn't targeting me. Right now, he's aiming for the glowstone. Before the words were finished, the 8-footed demon launched a weaponized sword towards the steel, and the person who took that sword instead was Bibi. The glow-in-the-dark substance escapes from Bibi's body. The 8-legged creature grabs it and is reborn as an even more powerful being. The steel screams, holding Bibi in my arms. I promise to bring back the glowstone again. But Bibi quietly says, I was just trying to protect you, brother. But you were going too far, and I was scared. That's why Kang Chul has now faced another loss. Yuri's grandmother and the anger of those who have lost their precious ones to Bibi. Palchukwi is now beginning to awaken in earnest. Episode 11 was a chapter where love, sacrifice, and the spark of anger exploded. All at once, Gang Chul and Yuri are now heading towards Yeongdamgal to uncover the identity of the 8-headed monster, and to fight until the end for my precious ones. But that path will never simply end in revenge. Those who move because of love can also crumble because of love. The sacrifice chosen to protect him. Will there truly be salvation at the end? In the next episode, episode 12, all secrets may be revealed in Yeongdamgal. Some tried to protect love, while others sought to uncover the truth. And someone returned to reveal all those secrets. In episode 12 of The Return of the Unruly, the moment where sadness and anger, truth and revenge intersect, opens the door to the deepest secrets of the story. For him, who believed he was an indestructible being, after losing Bibi, farewell was an incredibly deep and painful wound. He collapsed in silence, And Yuri stayed by his side,
네가 땅으로
saying this,
떨어지던 날 놈이
hate me
태어났단 말이야?
if that's
발척기가
a way for you not to forgive me. But Steel clearly tells Yuri that he can now feel pain like a human, and the reason for that pain is because of her existence. The emotions she gives him shake his inner self. This confession is a bond that blooms on sorrow, and the reason he can rise again. Meanwhile, in the palace, all truths are revealed. Lee Jung-un finally confirms that Kim Bong-in is behind Palchiakwi and Pungsan, an unbelievable truth. However, the evidence was clear, and Kim Bong-in removes the mask he had been hiding behind. If I were like a beast, it's because of you, Lee Young. He did not regret what he had done. Rather, he used the king to protect the pride of the nobility, and even devised schemes to bring down the royal family. Lee Jung-un says, I can no longer harbor a heart worse than that of a beast. In the end, Kim Bong-in is sentenced to exile. This is the end for those who tried to bring down the royal family. However, he does not simply disappear. The escaped Kim Bong-in heads to Pungsan. And finally, I command you, send the 8-foot demon to cut off Lee Jung-ui's breath. But that command does not work at all. On the 8-foot demon, the current Palchiakwi no longer needs Kim Bong-in. In the end, he is thoroughly abandoned by Palchiakwi and meets a miserable fate. The words of humans who tried to use the king to summon gods and control spirits always led to destruction. Meanwhile, the steel finally moves. The fact that Bibi's glow-in-the-dark bracelet ended up in the hands of the 8-legged monster alone was not enough to stop him. And with Yuri, Yoon Gap, and Lee Jung, they head towards Yeongdamgal. 100 years ago, the place where all secrets began, the land where the 8-headed monster was born, the stage of war, where King Yinjong took refuge. And there, you will meet the nobleman Choi Won-woo, who holds the past of the royal family. Lee Jung-un asks Choi Won-woo to show her the book left by his great-grandfather from 100 years ago. However, Choi Won-woo firmly replies, there is no such book. They all disappeared a long time ago. It was a lie. And at that moment, another truth that had been sealed within the family emerges. His daughter, Inseon, becomes possessed by a vengeful spirit, known as the one-legged spirit. The spirit speaks. He was called Jang Eon-soo while he was alive. And he stole ancient documents from the Choi Won-woo family, for which he was punished and ultimately killed. And the book he hid as he died is none other than the Gwangam Collection, a book containing the deepest secrets of the Gwangam family. Inside it were recorded the past of King Yinjong and a military officer, as well as the identity of the 8-headed demon. Choi Won-woo, flustered, denies the existence of the book, but eventually takes out the book he had secretly hidden under the pressure of Yuri and Gang Chul. At first, I intended to burn it, but steel blocks it. The moment you hide the truth, sin is inherited. Thus, the book comes into your hands, and there, the truth that would shake this country was written. At that moment, as the weight of the story deepens, another astonishing scene unfolds. The soul of Yoon Gap, swallowed by the 8-legged monster, is expelled. Returning to the side of the seemingly dead Yoon Gap and Gangchul, I come back again. The return of one person signifies a shift in the tide. Now the board is being reset, and a full-scale war with the Palchukki becomes an unavoidable fate. Episode 12 was not just a simple recollection, but a chapter where all the puzzles fit together. The downfall of Kim Bong-in, the emergence of the Gwangam Collection, and the return of Yoon Gap. The truth will inevitably find a way to reveal itself. The dark past, hidden by the royal family. The reasons why God punishes humans and those who give themselves in the name of love. Gwiging seems to be nearing its end, but in reality, it is preparing for the darkest night. In the next episode, will the records written in the blood of the royal family be revealed to the world? Or will they be sealed away as another sacrifice? Let's take a brief look at the preview for episode 13. Is the content of this book all true? The moment the truth that the royal family has covered up for 100 years is revealed, Yeongdamgal 100 years ago was a hell. The 8-headed dragon is the resentment of the people of Yeongdamgal. From 100 years ago, intertwined. Let
이제
that
알았습니다.
resentment rise
발작기
even
진짜
more.
뒷배가
And so they
누구인지.
deliberately released Yoon Gap's spirit. What could be the reason? Why? Yoon Gap's spirit is becoming tainted with resentment. And the Black Hand, directed towards the Emperor, the ominous signs of steel dwelling in Yoon Gap's body. I cannot guarantee that he can protect Yeori. In the moment of choice, someone may have to give love again. Will the truth written in the blood of the royal family be revealed to the world in the next episode? Or will it be buried under another sacrifice? I'm curious about the next story. Subscriptions and likes are love. Comments are a great help in video production.